Hey guys, it's me Chad Reagan. So today's video I want to do the first impression of a brand new mobile action RPG games. It calls Black Beacon. So probably some of you already know that I mostly cover this type of game. So similar like Aether Gazer, PGR, Zenless Zone Zero or something like that. So yeah, this is the brand new game that also action RPG. They still in the thing CBT right now. They have the test, so soon the server will end. But this time, like, I want to just give you my first impression and a little bit preview regarding this game. Don't put this game is too much high expectation like those other games that I mentioned, because those other games already multi-platform, or they already have PC or even like PS, something like that. But this game is only target like mobile, so of course don't put so much like high expectation compared to others though. So yeah, let's get started. So let's start first with regarding the story, concept, and the theme about this game. So basically we'll mostly dealing with this beacon. Even the beacons right now, as far as I follow, it's still very unclear, but they can trigger like anomaly that can like literally make some weird like time and space. So this is where usually we will fight. So mostly we are as a protagonist, we're not playable, we are the director of the library itself. And actually be pretty funny that we just become the director out of nowhere. It's just like basically selected by the previous director like mysteriously. So
This
even then
person
when
is
we
hounding
meet
the
the
director's keepsake.
crewmates in there, another librarian, basically we are a librarian, but it's not a librarian like you think. And in here like we calls like us as a seers in here. So basically yeah, in here as a new
What's your
director, basically we very clueless, suddenly we traveling times and space. So you usually
Where did you
will
get
dealing
this?
with this a lot, and yeah, fighting along with your teammates. And so far I can say like the story,
Cosmos gave you the
it's
Library
pretty,
of Babel,
give
you
me
say?
5 of reverse 99 because we go back so much like to the past, something like that. And for the dynamic, for the
Do you
stories,
know what it
actually
means
for
to
me it's pretty
hold
good.
this
It has some funny moment. I think it's quiet, I can say enjoyable. For the
Before
game
Cosmos
that
left,
come from
he
the
mentioned that the
maybe
one who
small
holds
company, I
this
can say
pendant
it's
is the
pretty
prophecy
enjoyable.
of
The
Sia.
English voice acting is not too bad.
And that
Like
we
at
must
least
support
for
that
me, the
person
Arashan is one of
unconditionally.
character with the pink hair. I really like her voice
You're
acting
not
too
welcome
for the
here.
English.
Leave. Now. Don't give me that look. I was just messing with you.
And yeah, generally I can say it's pretty
But
good concept
seriously,
theme. Nothing like
doesn't this
super
all
unique,
sound
but I can
absurd?
say it's enjoyable
Some
enough
random
as per
outlander
right now.
shows up out of nowhere.
As for the character design, I can say that probably it will be very subjective. Especially this type of design, I can feel like there's some people say, oh, it's good. Some people say, oh, it's bland. It's just boring. They pretty much look samey, something like, which is I can say I can understand both perspective. But for me, it's okay. It's alright. It's decent. Nothing super wow, but it's not that I can say terrible. I already see a lot much worse design than this, but for me it's not even close with worse design. So that's why I say it's pretty alright, pretty decent in general. The one that I really like is Arashan, and that's the thing that I think the most amazing. Other else is I think alright, okay. And now let's talk about the gameplay. So the gameplay is just, I can say, quite classic action RPG. If you play mostly a lot of mobile action RPG, yeah, it's pretty much something like that. Gameplay alone have so much different mix of the game, but I don't think they just like straight up copy, because I believe they already developed this game already a couple years ago too. So I don't think they just merely copy, but from my impression it just feels mixed. Dominantly Aether Gazer, where usually you need to kind of like going with the certain like sequence, and after that you need to take some cost of the bar, something like that, and even it has coolant, so quite similar like Aether Gazer. And another thing is that they have also like the concept of like kind of time stop, so kind of have matrix aspect from the PGR like that, but this one we can control where we want to trigger the time stop. Also we will have some, we can say, ultimate rush, where you can almost like spam your skill here and there, so which is kind of like not ultimate, but it's like another like unique approach to make it feels more like fast paced. And of course you have 3 characters that you can switch between one another. So yeah, in general I feel like if you already play a lot of different action RPG, it will not hard for you to adapt. It's pretty much like quite classic action RPG. Also they have some element that you can apply, but it's not reaction. It's quite similar like ZZZ. When you meet like certain bar, it will trigger like certain like we can say like effect, something like that. So it also have some of the uniqueness in here. And regarding the enemy, so far the enemy, they kind of have like the, the toughness bar. If you kind of like break it, it will stun, so similar like Wuthering Wave if you already play. And also some of the enemy, let's say like boss, it has some interesting, I can say, like interaction where you need to kind of like give them direction to certain way so they can getting stun, like the first boss that I fight, like, which is I already say they already doing pretty good job as a starting to make like the first boss, I can say. So yeah, overall in general, if I want to describe in the very brief, like the combat of this game is like dominantly Aether Gazer with a little bit of PGR, ZZZ, and Wuthering Wave, which is, I can say, quite crazy. I get all those 5 in here. Although of course if you just see like compared to those game, this game feels more like mobile, because I already told you don't put so much high expectation. The controls feel still a little bit janky, it still feels like not really smooth, especially I play only on mobile. For some reason it's not working on emulator, it makes more extra painful, so everything feels more stiff. I think if they can make it more fluid in the future and they aiming for release for PC, I think this will become more enjoyable too. But so far right now, compared to other those games that I mentioned, it's less polished or less, I can say, smooth compared to those games. Another thing that I want to mention, which is I can say this is actually the uniqueness about this game that I never encountered, where you can keep changing perspective, like top view, which is you will see like from the like top of the field, like you play Diablo, Path of Exiles, like you can see like high camera angle, or you want something that close in, like you play like PGR, Aether Gazer, ZZZ, something like that. So you can change those two perspectives, and you can even do that in story. But of course you cannot keep changing all the times. There's some of the scenario that it's kind of only lock on certain like view. But yeah, I think that's quite unique, although it's not really changing the gameplay. But I say like somehow I kind of like to play between switch one and another, which is, I can say, another uniqueness. And the last part is regarding that I want to talk is the in-game content regarding the gacha, the whatever content, event, something like that. So yeah, so far in general I can say if you already play a lot of different gacha game, it's pretty much quite typical what the gacha game will offer. It will have login reward, they have of course like daily battle pass, and yeah, pretty much like some event that you can do to get like extra resource, and of course like gem, something like that for you to pulse. So yeah, it's pretty much like typical generic. The one that I want to highlight a little bit that I want to price is that they integrate daily and battle pass in one tap, so I can say it's efficient. I don't know why every single gacha game they make battle pass and daily in 2 different taps, this one in one tap, so it feels efficient, which is I kinda like it in terms of like the design of the menu itself. As for the gacha and the banners in here, they take a little bit unusual approach. At least from more than 5 gacha games that I played, this is a little bit different. So for the banner itself, I can say it's quite still generic. They have permanent banner, and the one they have a special banner for a permanent character, but it's 100%. They will kind of keep, I think, rotated. It's kind of quite similar if you play like Aether Gazer or you play Curse Frontline 2. Yeah, they still have permanent banner that they make it you can get it like targeted without you need to like dealing with the RNG. But this one is 100%, which is good if you aim for certain character from the permanent banner. And the next one, which is limited character, the limited character is not 100%, it's not 50-50, but 70%. That's why I say it's quite unusual. So instead you dealing with 50-50, you dealing with 70% and 30% in here. So yeah, quite unique in here. And the PD is, all of them is 70. So it's not 80, it's not 90, but it's 70. And then the things too regarding the weapon is 100%. So yeah, that's basically all the banner that they put that I can say quite unique. As for the character copies in here, it will not turn into shard like the classic like gacha game. It will just already follow like this recent modern where you pull one character, it just turned to one whole copy and you just need 6 of them. And it calls potential if I'm not wrong in here. So if you already have like 6 potential, yeah, that's basically the max well of your character already. As for the shop, it's pretty much relatively quite familiar with the modern game. You have the one that have common currency in here. You can exchange for the pulls every month, and then the other things is whenever you pull you will get a little bit like rare currency. It also you can change turn into pulls too, so quite similar if you replay game like Genshin, ZZZ, or even was something. It's quite similar concept like this. So in here I will just show everything like etc etc, show the character a little bit preview in here. They also have skin that you can take a look. I cannot unlock everything right now because I only play a little bit right now, so you can just a little bit previewing here. So yeah, overall I can say this game, if you only put like expectation as a like mobile game, don't put too much like really high like those other multi-platform gacha games, then yeah, I can say this game is relatively fun and enjoyable enough. However, of course, they still need to improve on some of the area where like, I can say need to make more smooth, and I can say over make it more feels like organic to their game, doesn't feel like just like feels like typical like action. Maybe they can improve from the character kit, that I believe like other game like PGR will do that too, right? They start from generic and after they start to have their own like signature, something like that they make, and I believe this game can do that too if they of course willing to improve it. So I don't think it's really a big deal, but for the starting I think it's already good and fun, enjoyable enough. But of course if you already start to compare with those like other gacha game action RPG that I mentioned like PGR, ZZZ, something like that, then this game will looks quite inferior because it doesn't really have something that I can say super outstanding. I think the one that can be outstanding compared to other, if you maybe you like the story, the theme about this story of this game, then maybe you will prefer this game. Or other thing is that the storage, because I think compared to let's say like game like ZZZ where the storage is quite massive, this game is relatively quite low. It's around 6 gigabytes, which is I can say relatively quite low for a game itself. So yeah, I think so far and now the strongest point is mostly the story and the storage, where it find more mobile friendly for the people that have lower spec of the phone itself. So yeah, that's pretty much that's it. So yeah, in general I can say Black Beacon, if you don't put so much high expectation, you only treat this game as a mobile game, then probably some of you will say it's pretty much enjoyable and good enough. For me, I can say it's good, fun enough to killing time, but nothing super wow or amazing because I already put low expectation. So yeah, in the end it's just really back on your expectation. For me, I'm still trying to give them chance, especially if I see a quite good improvement, then why not, right? And yeah, that's basically it. If you like this video, feel free to hit the button and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.